Welcome to the Moon Magic Tarot and the lunar energy flow for the coming week. Thank you so much for joining me. So in just a moment, I'm literally going to give you a daily rundown for the coming week of the incoming lunar energy and the kind of flavour of that. And then I am going to take a look at the week and just pinpoint some key astrological happenings that I think will have a particular impact on the way in which we manifest. I do actually think this is a week of really quite significant opportunity, although there's some underlying tension at the beginning. A sort of a push-pull kind of energy between seeing blocks and barriers and a desire to move through them, but possibly not knowing how to. As the week progresses, I think we are likely to see some significant pivotal moments of openings and breakthroughs. So Super Souls, let's move straight into the dailies. On Saturday the 13th, the moon is in Pisces, and we do see quite a mixed bag of lunar energy. The day starts off very gently. The moon isn't really tuning in with any other planets, but later on, as the day progresses, we could see a bit more tension, almost like a sort of a mind versus emotion push-pull energy. Now, this is a day that really, I think, is bringing things to the surface so that we can process and evaluate them. We've just had a full moon, so things are often brought to light. So yeah, get still and get to it. On Sunday, the moon moves from Pisces into Aries with a void of course space between 15:10 and 20:43 p.m. GMT. Now, the tension that started yesterday later in the day is now sort of pushing forwards, creating a kind of a push-pull energy between concerns about blocks, barriers, things that aren't working, versus the desire to push through them and emerge. Now, later in the day, the moon will bring increasing sensitivity. So be very aware of your emotions. If you're tackling something creative, this actually may work for you. It will help your imagination. But if you're trying to find practical solutions, the energy might make it hard to concentrate or even a bit confusing. Now, we have a much easier day tomorrow on Monday. So if you're not sure about anything, take it easy, press the pause button and wait till tomorrow. On Monday, the moon is in Aries, and although we start the day with the lingering tension of yesterday, at around midday in GMT time, the moon brings a massive surge of very positive, expansive energy, suggesting openings and opportunities that are going to move the tension forwards, literally into a kind of flowing space of potential. So this is the time when, if you were feeling stuck or confused over the weekend or hindered in some way, this is the time to seize the moment, lean into the energy, surf the waves and go with it. On Tuesday, the moon remains in Aries until 20:17 p.m. GMT, when she enters a void of course space. Now, the energy today is really happening. Whatever potentially opened up or became apparent for you yesterday or over the last few days, but really the solutions becoming apparent, the lunar influence today adds healing, opportunity for reparation, the fixing of things, and a lovely energy of forward motion, followed by the potential to really make something solidly real. I think this is a really super day. On Wednesday, the moon enters Taurus at 02:23 a.m. GMT, and really just let it flow. The energy of yesterday's forward motion is continuing. And at around 1:30 p.m. GMT, the lunar energy actually brings a really creative surge of lunar flow that promotes our desire for love. The moon tunes in with Venus. So love, harmony, balance, and this energy is set to expand and increase as the day continues. So it's going to promote fun, playfulness, and if you can take the day off work or you're on holiday, this is just fabulous. If you need to knuckle down to something, it might be a little hard to concentrate, your mind might wander, but if you approach anything and everything with fun, playfulness, love, harmony, whatever you're doing, it's going to work for you. On Thursday, the moon is in steady Taurus, and the lunar influence favours really investing in the things that really matter to us. From an energetic perspective, again, approach this with playfulness and joy, because this is a very high vibrational energy and it's going to fuel the potential for opportunities and karmic openings actually as the day progresses. This is a really lovely day to actively manifest with the universe by getting your own personal energy right and knowing that you know, the law of attraction will kick in and the world is going to work for you and with you. On Friday, the moon moves from Taurus into Gemini with a void of course space between 11:05 a.m. and 12:06 p.m. GMT. This is not a day to be resistant to change, so there's quite a distinct change in the energy. Now, the moon reaches her last quarter today. The last quarters is always an opportunity to review. Quarter moons are all about reviewing. The lunar influence actually supports real transformation and renewed clarity of intent along with movement forwards. So, you know, trying to keep something the same is not going to work. So really be active, review, evaluate and take action, and you're going to see things move forwards. Again, the energy is really working with us this week for movement and transformation. On Saturday, the moon is in Gemini and the lunar influence brings a pretty steady start to the day, but as we move into the day, there is a very distinct change in energy, and it could be quite strong in terms of communications and potentially miscommunications. Now, the purpose of this is really to bring to light and anything that we need to let go of, but it could feel a little overwhelming. So if something isn't clear to you at any point over the weekend, actually just take your time, and if needs be, do nothing. Literally allow yourself to see what you need to see. The clarity will come afterwards. Thank you so much for joining me for this weekly lunar update. I post this every single Friday, so if you'd like to get notification of this or any of my readings as I post them, the Sunday readings I post every single week, and also lots of spontaneous ones answering very specific questions. If you subscribe and press the little bell icon, they should come into your stream. I'll put all the relevant links that may be important or useful to you in the information box below, and I will be posting the images daily on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to get a little bit of a nudge or a reminder as the week goes on, you can access them there. Tons of love, super souls, and I will see you in just a moment for those of you who are interested in learning a little bit more about how the actual moon, you know, the moon energies are working. Super souls, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed those dailies. Now, in this part of the video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the energy of the moon. She's now moving into her waning gibbous phase. If I bring up this image, you'll see she's literally diminishing in size. She reaches her last quarter position on Friday, which is always a good time to review. For me, I always feel when her energy is in this particular phase, if I am thoughtful and mindful and I'm consistent in my actions in terms of manifestation, I can actually make a lot of steady progress. What I'm now going to show you are some aspects that the moon tunes into during the week, and some key astrological things that I think that they're going on in the background, and I think they're going to have an impact on the way in which the overall energy is kind of flowing for us, especially in our manifestations. So you'll see a chart in front of you. Super duper program that I've now got, that I can click on things and show you a little bit about what they're about. So the first thing I want to show you, as in terms of background stuff, is Uranus, who is the Great Awakener, sitting with the nodes. Uranus is literally sitting with the North Node. The nodes are representing our karmic pathway. They're about fate, destiny, our calling, that kind of area. Uranus is the Great Awakener. He comes along and he shakes us up, and he creates windows of opportunity, sometimes with friction, in order to move us forwards, keep us on track. Now, whether this is global humanity or us as individuals, this is an underlying dynamic that is going on. So we are seeing a lot of friction, but there's purpose to it. It's about shaking our lives up so that we start to live in a manner that is about holding a higher vision for humanity, really. So that is the first thing that I wanted to pick up on. The next dynamic that I want to look at for a couple of days is the Sun opposite Saturn. The Sun is the creative spark of energy, and Saturn is Father Karma. He's the planet of time, of sometimes limitations, restrictions. He wants us to restructure. He's quite concrete, he's quite solid, he's methodical. And opposition is not an easy aspect. There can be discord. This connection, which is around for a few days at the beginning of the week, can often present us with almost sort of barriers, blocks, things that aren't working, things that aren't moving forwards. And we can feel this in quite a restrictive way. Now, simultaneously, let me show you another aspect. Simultaneously, Pluto is actually trining Mars. This is another bit of what I would call the background astrodynamic noise that's going on. Pluto wants rebirth. And Mars is fiery energy. He wants to push everything forwards. He wants to make it happen. And they are also connecting in with Neptune. Neptune is a very spiritual, watery energy, but sometimes because it's so dreamy, we can feel a bit confused. We can sometimes feel a little bit out to sea. So that the collaboration of those dynamics that are going on in the background mean that we are seeing things that are shaking us up. We are getting that kind of impetus and push to try and transform things. We want stuff to change, but we're also feeling blocked sometimes and as if things aren't happening. So those are the dynamics that are around very strongly at the beginning of the week. Now let's take a look at the way the moon is going to help us to navigate that. Over Saturday and Sunday, the moon is going to move through Pisces and into Aries. She will pass Neptune, which means, again, you might find a little bit of confusion, especially with the push-pull energy of the overall dynamics. However, when she reaches Aries on Monday at about midday GMT time, what we are going to see is the moon connecting with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is the planet of renewed hope, optimism, windows of opportunity. Jupiter wants to expand anything and everything. So I think when we get to Monday, if you have been observing, processing and noticing, even if it's felt discordant, any confusion, anything actually over the weekend, anything that was illuminated during the full moon, when we get to this point on Monday, I think we might see some kind of breakthrough moments where the pathway becomes clear. So in terms of our manifestations, the weekend is a time for steady, consistent actions over things that we can do rather than things that we can't. Noticing the things that we can't with a view to recognizing that we will find solutions or that the way will become clear on Monday. On Tuesday, our moon will actually join Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. He is the rainbow bridge to healing. So whatever has been shown to you, whatever pathway has opened up on Monday, Tuesday is a day of real flow where we can heal, we can fix, we can sort out, we can move things forwards. Later in the day on Tuesday, you move this forwards for you. Later in the day on Tuesday, the moon will actually connect very favorably with Saturn and also with the sun. Saturn is wanting to restructure, wanting to make things real, solid. The sun is giving us the creative spark of energy to make that possible. So Tuesday is a day where we can fix, heal, repair, and move things forwards in real, solid, concrete ways. And as the moon is in a very steady phase of her journey, this is really going to contribute to taking very solid, real actions to actually make things real. So I do see Monday and Tuesday, Monday as a breakthrough day, Tuesday where we can significantly take actions that are going to move our manifestations forward. On Wednesday, the flow continues and we have a really super lovely connection between the moon and Venus. Now, although it's a square, which is a discordant connection usually. What is interesting is that Venus is in a trine with wonderfully expansive Jupiter. So there's a lovely flow of expanding love, balance, harmony going on. And interestingly enough, when the moon is squaring Venus, rather than it being discordant, it pushes the energy forwards to make things harmonious. It increases our desire for love, for harmony, for balance. So Wednesday is a day when the energy continues to flow in a very steady, gentle way, and the lunar dynamics are absolutely beautiful. So again, whatever you are manifesting, it's a day you can make significant, consistent, steady progress. The moon is now in earthy, steady Taurus. So very, very lovely day for manifesting. Again, you can see why I feel this is a very, very good week for us all. Thursday is a very interesting day because the moon is going to join Uranus, the Great Awakener, and the nodes. Here we are. Look at that. She is absolutely in the middle of this shake-up, destiny, fate, karmic space of openings. So whatever you are working at from a manifestation perspective and whatever steady progress you have been making, this is a day to really invest in things that are going to contribute potentially to you moving towards your calling, your higher purpose. And the energy is going to be working with you to create openings. They may not come as you expect, but they are there. Now, there are some other really interesting dynamics today as well, because Venus is still actually, as a background energy, still connecting with beautiful Jupiter, bringing balance, harmony, expanding everything. So with this going on in the background, even though the lunar energy isn't directly connected, there is very much an energy of, I would say, aligning yourself to be playful. If your energy is right, then it's almost as though destiny, the law of attraction, the universe can work with you. Tap into the Venus-Jupiter stuff that's going on. Be playful, be joyful, be grateful, and then allow the universe to open doorways for you. Very interesting day indeed, I think, Thursday, especially if you have been actively moving things forwards in a steady, gentle, progressive way through the rest of the week. On Friday, the moon will reach her last quarter position. This means that she is in a square with the sun. There's always an opportunity to review. The quarter moons always invite evaluation and review. Interestingly, the moon is also sitting very close to Mars, who wants us to move things forwards, in a beautiful trine with Pluto, who wishes us to create the new, to rebirth and to transform, and beautiful spiritual Neptune as well. So I think this, again, following a day of very karmic potential on Thursday, Friday is a day where we can review and rebirth. We can review and transform. We can literally, all the energy today is going to be about reviewing and evaluating so that we then move things forwards and make change happen. This is a day where I think if you are resistant to change, it might feel quite challenging, but if you are open and you are actively working to grow and create change, I think the energy today will show you exactly what you need to see in order to evaluate and remain on track. On Saturday, we do begin to see quite a lot of what I would call background noise. There's quite a bit of discordant energy in the world. We have Mercury sitting here opposite Neptune. When Mercury is opposite Neptune, we can have difficult communications, miscommunications. Although whatever takes place, the purpose of this is rebirth. We have a lovely connection to Pluto. Just bring this back in. Now the moon is now diminishing. She's beautifully aligned on Saturday with Venus. So in many ways, whatever background noise is going on, and there could be quite a lot of it actually, there's quite a lot of discordant connections between the other planets. Because the moon has passed her last quarter and is now diminishing, we're moving into a moon phase where there is a great opportunity for us to reflect and to slow down. And because she is tuning in with Venus today, even though I think there's going to be quite a busyness and just a lot of background noise that could feel a bit overwhelming and as if there's too much going on and we can't get our head around any of it, the moon is going to soften this and bring us an opportunity. Indeed, she advises us, her energy advises us to slow down, take our time. If we feel overwhelmed, don't do anything. Observe, notice, reflect, because in a couple of days, the energy will right itself, the discord will ease, and we will then know what we need to do to move things forwards. So I think this is a day when, although there is rather a lot happening, and there's quite a lot of discordance going on in the overall universal energy, I think our beautiful moon on Saturday will help us enormously to navigate this. But we are now moving into a less active week in terms of lunar energy. Super Souls, thank you so much for joining me for today's lunar updates, or this week's lunar updates. In fact, I post these every single Friday. If you'd like to get notification of anything as soon as I upload it, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, it should come into your stream. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me. I wish you an amazing week of manifesting.